Christos voskras, voistino voskras. Christ is risen. Truly he has risen. This is Father Basil again. And on this day of May 2nd, we celebrate the life of St Athanasius. That is the saint today, St Athanasius of Alexandria. And I knew quite a bit about his life because I was the priest at a church called St Athanasius many years ago when I lived in Regina. And St Athanasius is a great saint. And I'm going to read a little bit about his life to you today so that you all know who St Athanasius was. He was a bishop, a doctor of the church, and his feast day is May 2nd. Catholics honor St Athanasius on May 2nd. The 4th century bishop is known as the Father of Orthodoxy for his absolute dedication to the doctrine of Christ's divinity. St Athanasius was born to Christian parents living in the Egyptian city of Alexandria in the year 296. His parents took great care to have their son educated, and his talents came to the attention of a local priest, who was later canonized as St. Alexander of Alexandria. The priest and the future saint tutored Athanasius in theology and eventually appointed him as an assistant. Around the age of 19, Athanasius spent a formative period in the Egyptian desert as a disciple of St. Anthony in his monastic community. Returning to Alexandria, he was ordained a deacon in 319 and resumed his assistance to Alexander, who had become a bishop. The Catholic Church, newly recognized by the Roman Empire, was already encountering a new series of dangers from within. The most serious threat to the 4th century church came from a priest named Arius, who taught that Jesus could not have existed eternally as God prior to his historical incarnation as a man. According to Arius, Jesus was the highest of created beings and could be considered divine only by analogy. Arians professed a belief in Jesus' divinity, but meant only that he was God's greatest creature. Opponents of Arianism brought forth numerous scriptures which taught Christ's eternal pre-existence and his identity as God. Nonetheless, many Greek-speaking Christians found it intellectually easier to believe in Jesus as a created demigod than to accept the mystery of a father-son relationship within the Godhead. By 325, the controversy was dividing the church and unsettling the Roman Empire. In that year, Athanasius attended the First Ecumenical Council, held at Nicaea to examine and judge Arius' doctrine in light of apostolic tradition. It reaffirmed the Church's perennial teaching on Christ's full deity and established the Nicene Creed as an authoritative statement of faith. The remainder of Athanasius' life was a constant struggle to uphold the Church Council's teaching about Christ. Near the end of St. Alexander's life, he insisted that Athanasius succeed him as the Bishop of Alexandria. Athanasius took on the position just as the Emperor Constantine, despite having convoked the Council of Nicaea, decided to relax his condemnation of Arius and his supporters. Athanasius continually refused to admit Arius to communion, however, despite the urgings of the emperor. A number of Arians spent the next several decades attempting to manipulate bishops, emperors, and popes to move against Athanasius, particularly through the use of false accusations. Athanasius was accused of theft, murder, assault, and even of causing a famine by interfering with food shipments. Arius became ill and died gruesomely in 336, but his heresy continued to live. Under the rule of the 3 emperors that followed Constantine, and particularly under the rule of the strongly Arian Constantius, Athanasius was driven into exile at least 5 times for insisting on the Nicene Creed as the Church's authoritative rule of faith. Athanasius received the support of several popes and spent a portion of his exile in Rome. However, the Emperor Constantius did succeed in coercing one pope, Liberius, into condemning Athanasius by having him kidnapped, threatened with death, and sent away from Rome for 2 years. The pope eventually managed to return to Rome, where he again proclaimed Athanasius' orthodoxy. Constantius went so far as to send troops to attack his clergy and congregations. Neither these measures nor direct attempts to assassinate the bishop succeeded in silencing him. However, they frequently made it difficult for him to remain in his diocese. He enjoyed some respite after Constantius' death in 361, but was later persecuted by Emperor Julian the Apostate, who thus sought to revive paganism. In 369, Athanasius managed to convene an assembly of 90 bishops in Alexandria for the sake of warning the Church of Africa against the continuing threat of Arianism. He died in 373 and was vindicated by a more comprehensive rejection of Arianism at the Second Ecumenical Council, held in 381 at Constantinople. St. Gregory Nazianzen, who presided over part of that council, describes St. Athanasius as a true pillar of the Church, whose life and conduct were the rule of bishops, and his doctrine the rule of the Orthodox faith. So, St. Athanasius, was a great protector of the truth of the Church, who believed in the divinity of Christ, that Christ was one of the Holy Trinity. And he had to fight this heresy called Arianism with this Arius, this renegade priest who was teaching falsehoods, who was teaching mistruths about Christ. And even though Athanasius was true to the faith, he was attacked. He was attacked many times by other people from the church who believed in untrue things. And we can learn from him today, because today the same thing is happening. Those of us who are very orthodox in our faith, who are very true in our beliefs about what Jesus gave us to believe, are often attacked by other Christians or even Catholics who don't believe in the truth, who don't believe in the truth that God gave to us. And this is seen many ways through the errors of abortion, of euthanasia, of birth control, of homosexuality, and all kinds of things that are going on in our world, where people want the church to accept these things. And we can't. We can't as a church accept these things because they are not truths. They are not truths given to us by God. They are errors. They're coming from the devil. All these things are coming from the devil that they want us to accept. And we have to be strong like St. Athanasius was, and to protect the truth that Jesus gave to us. God bless you. Have a good day.